Hey everybody, today we're going to be talking about 21 road trip essentials that you need to pack along to make your next road trip run much more smoothly and make sure you're covered for almost every eventuality. So are you ready? Let's go ahead and dive in and make this super quick. Now, before I get started, I want to let you know that I have a new resource that I have linked below. It covers everything you need to plan a vacation like the pros do, all of our tips and tricks and secrets. So if you'd like to get that, please go ahead and hit that link in the description and you'll be able to download it for free. You'll be able to download it. And that's all I have to say. Okay. Let's go ahead and jump into these 21 essential items that you need to take on your next road trip. The first one is rubbing alcohol. Now, rubbing alcohol, the isopropyl 70%, is going to be kind of an all-purpose for you. You can use it to disinfect, you can use it to clean, you can use it to take care of different things if you get cut or hurt or something like that. It's a nice side item to have, especially during coronavirus and COVID and issues with that, to have on hand just in case there's a situation where you might need it. The next one is to have Castile soap. Now, you might have seen it from Dr. Bronner's, and this is a soap that has 18-in-1 uses. In a pinch, this could be used as shampoo, as soap for your hands, as face cleaner. It could be an multi-purpose cleaner for any spills or anything that happens. It could be a glass cleaner. It could be it could be a million different things. So this is a good all-purpose cleaner to handle anything that might happen on your trip or any last-minute needs that you might have if you're, having to stop on the side at a rest stop or something and you need soap or you need things to happen. So this is a great idea for that as well. The next one is to have roadside assistance. So whether that is AAA or something through your car manufacturer or anything else that is available, you want to have some sort of roadside assistance available to you. And just in case, and God forbid, you have a flat tire, a dead battery, you lock your keys out of the car, any number of things, you want to have that backup just in case. The next one, and this is probably pretty self-explanatory, is to have an emergency roadside kit. So this is going to have things like jumper cables, a first aid kit for any kind of medical emergencies, the tool, and I don't know the exact name of the tool, but it's the tool that you can use to break glass or to cut off your seatbelt in case of an emergency that you need to escape your car. You definitely want to have one of those. You want to have a road flare. You want to have maybe even a cone or some kind of, if you have to pull over in an emergency, some kind of way to let cars know you're pulled over so they don't hit you. And then everything else that goes along with an emergency kit, you want to make sure you have a jack, you have your spare tire, things of that nature. Anything that you can think of that you would need for an emergency, you want to have that kind of a kit available. The other thing to carry along with you, especially on really long road trips, is extra water and extra snacks. Now, the worst thing that could happen is you get stuck in well, maybe not the worst thing, but if you got stuck in a traffic jam. I've literally been driving through, I think it was Nevada, and there was a time when the entire freeway was stopped because we were crossing over into where they were doing some bomb testing. And so they literally stopped the entire freeway. We were pulled over to the side of the road for hours before we were released. And thank God my mom, because I was little at the time, my mom had packed some water and snacks, or we would have been stuck for hours with nothing. So always carry that extra jug of water if you can or more, and some extra snacks, because you never know when something like that might happen, a traffic jam, or something happens to your car and you get stuck at the side of the road waiting for your AAA or somebody to come help you, or worse, you get stranded, you're gonna need that stuff. Another good thing to pack always is to have extra sunscreen and extra chapstick, because you never know when you're going down the road and you might decide you want to pull over and explore a new area, go to the cool beach you just found or anything like that. You want to have those type of things so you're covered for that particular scenario. Another thing to always have available is cash. Now, this could help cover if you hit any unexpected toll roads, if you see a fruit stand or some kind of stand along the side of the road and you'd like to stop and buy some items. A lot of times they don't necessarily take credit cards. It's always good to have cash for that. And any other little things that might pop up that you might not be prepared for that you would need to have cash in order to do. Heck, you even go to maybe a beach and you have to pay for parking. You have those coins and that cash to cover all of those eventualities. The other thing is to make sure you have your music, movies, podcasts, your audiobooks, make sure they are downloaded onto your devices so that you can access them offline. Because a lot of times you might be out in the middle of nowhere and wanting to listen to them or see them, and you have no and you have no bars, you have no service, you have no Wi-Fi. So you want to have those things available offline so that you can access them no matter where you are. Another great thing to have is a portable charger. Now, this is great if you have a long drive and something happens and you aren't able to charge your devices in your car. You can also have them if, say, you're camping on the beach or something and you're away from your car, or you're up in the mountains, anything like that, and you need to be able to charge your phone quickly without using your car. Say your car dies, the battery dies. You want to have that extra portable charger so you can always be able to charge your devices, especially your phone, because you never know when you might need that in an emergency. The other thing I like to do is always print out any maps and documents that I might need on my trip. Reason being is, one, if you don't have service and you don't have Wi-Fi, you won't be able to download it on your phone if you haven't already. And two, or B, did I say A or B? Two, you never know when if your phone dies, if your phone, you drop it and it breaks or something happens and you can't look at your phone or you can't access your phone for whatever reason, you want to have the paper copies to make sure that you can still figure out where you need to go. Maps to the destination or your road trip route. If you're staying in any hotels or going to any activities or anything and you need those confirmations, I always print out a copy of everything just in case I am not able to access my phone for some reason or another. Kind of on that note, and to the side, is if you are using a navigation app or any kind of a map app, anything on your phone, make sure you download the offline version so that, again, if you're in the middle of nowhere, you can still access that map and be able to get to where you want to go. There's a lot of cool new apps available. One of them I've heard recommended, but I haven't used it yet, is called The Dirt, and that's DYRT. And it is a new app that you can use to create your road trips, but they do have an ability to download the offline version so that you can still access your map while you're in the middle of nowhere. I know Road Trippers also has something. I don't know if they allow it to be offline. And I know Google Maps, you can download the offline version of an entire city or area so that you can access that when you don't have Wi-Fi or cell service. Another thing that would be helpful to have available in your car with you or in your vehicle with you is a quick drying towel and some extra blankets. You never know, again, if you want to pull over and take advantage of something, maybe it's running in the creek or swimming in the ocean or anything, having those extra towels are great. Also, if you spill something, if something happens, you have those towels. And then also the extra blankets if you are driving at night and somebody wants to sleep, or if you just simply need an extra blanket, so you pull over to watch the sunset on the beach, you have some extra blankets, or to lay out on the sand. There's a million different ways that you might need it, and it's always a good thing to have along for the ride. Another great thing, especially on long road trips, is to have like body wipes or baby wipes so that you can, get a little stinky and aren't going to be able to get to the shower in a while. You can always wipe down with those. Also some dry shampoo in case you're getting a little not fresh and you have a long trip ahead of you and you guys are all stuck in the car together. It might be a good idea to have some of those items to make it a more pleasant drive. Another thing kind of along with the blankets is to have pillows. You never know when you want to pull over, or not even pull over, but you want to sleep in the car, or maybe you need to pull over and take a nap if it's a long drive and you're getting too tired to continue driving. Or again, you pull over for a picnic or something and you want to relax on the side of the road. Having extra pillows is always a good idea to have on long car trips. More things to have available are Kleenex or some kind of tissues, potentially maybe even a handkerchief or something like that, just in case you need that for various things. If you have a handkerchief, not only is it more sustainable if you need to blow your nose or have those type of things happen, but also if there's a spill or something happens, you have it as an extra tool. Also, in case you ever need to use it as a mask, if you need to use it to put your hair up, there's 100 different uses for it, and it's a nice thing to have just in case. A great thing also on long trips is to have a selection of card games, things that you can do to help pass the time when you're tired of listening to music or listening to the audiobook or podcast, and you just want something else to do. Before you leave, just look up a few games that you might be able to play while you're on your trip. One thing which is potentially dangerous, but I think you can make it work because we've made it work on long car trips before, is Heads Up. And you can actually download it on your phone and you just put it up and it does the clue. And then the other people have to give you clues and you have to guess what you are, what you're, say it's a person or it's a thing or whatever, you have to guess what you are. That one is a lot of fun. I love to use that. You can use it in the car. The driver just has to be careful with where they're looking. But I also use it when we're in long lines, say we're waiting in a long line for something. We always play that because it really helps pass the time far more quickly. Other things you have to include are medications. Now, you'll notice I'm not including things like make sure you bring a jacket and your bathing suit and blah, 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 because I'm assuming you already know what you need to pack. These are just the extra items. Having them available in your car could be super helpful for you and make all the difference to make the car ride more smooth. So on that note, you're already going to pack your essential medications, I hope. But in addition to that, I always recommend packing things such as any kind of pain medication, ibuprofen or Advil, something like that, Tylenol, whatever you might need, any kind of allergy medicine that you might need if you have an allergic reaction, but also if you just have allergies in a new location, you want to have those, an anti-itch cream, and then as well as your usual first aid items such as Band-Aids and things of that nature. Another great thing to pack, especially if you have multiple people in the car with you, is headphones. Because if one person wants to listen to a certain thing on the stereo system, the other person, if they don't want to listen to it, they can always put in their headphones. Or if they're trying to sleep and they don't want to listen to the people in the front talk, they can always put their headphones in and get a nice nap. Another great thing is an empty tote bag, because you never know when you pull over to the side of the road and buy some things, or you go shopping, or you find some things, you want to collect shells at the beach, or you find some cool rocks or anything. There's 100 different things you might want to take along with you. And it's always nice to have an extra tote bag. It can even come in handy if you do stop and go swimming to put those wet clothes in. There's just 100 different uses you can have for having some extra tote bags available. Another thing is to have some duct tape. A roll of duct tape can fix 100 different things. So you never know when something might break or tear or rip, or you might need to put something together. Duct tape is always that catch-all that has a million uses, and you never know when it might come in handy. The other thing I recommend having is travel insurance. Now, when you're traveling domestically, you might be able to get by with not having it if you have insurance that covers all 50 states, if you're traveling domestically and you're in America. It might be okay. But travel insurance, if your insurance doesn't go to other states, is a great idea because it covers all types of emergencies, not only medical, if you twist your ankle hiking, or if you get sick or something happens, but also dental. So if you crack a tooth or something happens and you're across the country, it'll still cover you. The other thing that it does is it helps protect you if a hotel messes up your reservation or gets canceled or something happens, or there's a delay in your trip. There's a lot of different things that it might still cover you for. So it's always worth taking a look at least to see if it's something that would be a great backup for you, especially if you're traveling out of your state and on long road trips. And then my last essential is anything weather related. So if you're traveling in the winter, do you have snow chains or tires or four-wheel drive, ice scrapers? If you're traveling in the middle of the desert, you might want to bring more water and more emergency things, matches and things like that. So anything weather related or location related. If there's anything specific about the location you're going to, do you need any special gear, any special tools to help you safely get through those areas? Okay, so that does it for my 21 road trip essentials for your next road trip vacation. Now that we're in COVID, I know a lot of us are going on those road trips. And so I just wanted to make sure you were covered so that your road trip can be much more smooth and easy and more pleasant. So on that note, if you are looking for some more ideas of different road trip options or different things that you'd like to be inspired, different travel ideas, go ahead and take a look at this video here where I go over my top 14 ideas for vacations while we are stuck having to remain in the USA while everything else is closed to us during COVID. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. We would love to have you join us. And other than that, I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.